they were not so organized in terms of inbound, of planning the suppliers. So Toyota started to think outside the box and to think of how to link not only with the suppliers, not only my purchase, but how to link my purchase with the logistics. How to be just in time. How do I reduce my inventory cost? Let me try to explain about inventory cost. Just a quick note. You buy something from Facundo. Okay, he's in China. You are in Argentina. He's in China, and it takes like 60 days to get something from here to here, and you pay him today. But you're going to produce only after the cargo gets here. So you pay today on the day zero, and you're going to produce only in 60 days. So you have 60 days of money that you rent out, and you're not making anything. That's what we call the inventory costs. What the Japanese said, they kind of changed it. So let me get all the suppliers close to myself. I want to reduce my inventory costs. So the Japanese was a real revolution in terms of logistics, but more inside the companies, more inside the factories than outside. And we, logistics providers, at that time we were called logistics providers, we're not growing now. We're just looking at the Japanese and what they're doing. But let's see the 90s. Oh, this time the market was around 150 billion. Let's see the 90s. Nothing changed here, right? From the 80s to the 90s, basically nothing changed. But the Japanese, the Americans, the Europeans, they started to, let's copy the Japanese. They're doing something good. And Mr. Trucker in Japan, who was working there inside the Toyota factory, so he was learning how they were doing stuff. So what Mr. Trucker did, he kind of like let me do in the U.S. what the Japanese did inside what Toyota does. So what we started to do, what the logistic companies started to do, that Mr. Trucker said, look, your people here inside your factory, you have your own people to bring something from here and deliver to your plant, to your production line. You have your own people controlling your inside warehouse. You have your own people planning your production line. Let me do that for you. I know how to do that. Mr. Trucker said that to Cecilia, and he started to sell that to Cecilia, what we call that inside logistics. So, before Mr. Trucker was transporting from A to B, now we used to say that we used to do door to door. We broke the doors of the customers, and we were inside of the customers doing their own logistics. So it's incredible that in the 90s we started to do what the factories were supposed to do, what the industry was supposed to do. So you see line replenishing, inventory planning, special packing. And at this time, we had a big challenge because of the quantity of suppliers and the globalization. Very important point on the 90s, communication. We used to say on the 90s that we were a communication company that also transported something. Communication became very essential for our business. Cecilia didn't want only to transport. She wanted to know where is the thing I sold to her, and where is it? Where is it going to be tomorrow? I want to have the information. It started to be very important communication.
I have to buy a phone.
And this market is a Nokia phone.
6 people.
And this market started to be a 120 billion market. Well, the 2000s to 2010, we started to make something else inside the factories, but something changed. No factories anymore. A thing called Amazon.com. It was not a factory. Where Mr. Trucker is going to pick the cargo. So there was like a virtual store that there are like 200 suppliers that delivered to 2 million buyers. So for Mr. Trucker, it was a fantastic opportunity because he started to collect from all over the world and deliver it to all over the world. It was a fantastic situation for Mr. Trucker. And that's when the market really started to grow. we started not only to deliver to stores, but we started to deliver to homes as well. Fantastic opportunity for Mr. Trucker. As a summary, you see here a summary of the market evolution. What you see here in blue, on this blue here, is what it was and what is the transport, the pure freight, the door-to-door freight. And what you see here in dark blue, is the added value. Everything that is not directly related to transport, but is complementary to transport. So that's where Mr. Trucker was very smart. Our market, if Mr. Trucker was not that smart, it should be like half of what it is today. But Mr. Trucker could invent and could create and could think, could put himself in the shoes of the customers and understand and create new products, create new service to bring more happiness, to save costs to her and to bring more happiness for him. Just to give you an idea, these are the top 10 logistics companies in the world. The Germans, and the Germans again. Who is German? The Dutch, Texan Dutch, and then they have Americans and the companies if you see DHL is a monster. They are really a monster, and this is not including courier. It's only pure logistics. Logistic couriers. With the couriers here would be like 45 billion. Company there, huge. The Dutch Post, including here too. But the Dutch again, they own half of the world. Yes. This 300 billion that you see here. This 300 billion that you see here is the global market, is the money that the logistics providers make. So there are a lot of companies, especially in emerging markets, that they don't outsource the logistics yet. What they are doing is that they are having their own trucks, their own people to provide the logistics service. So there is still a big opportunity for us, especially in emerging markets such as Argentina, Brazil, Chile, and India, and China, for us to make much more money. And there is a statistic that says that logistic costs globally represents about 8%, 7.8% of the global GDP, of the GDP. If this is true, the market that is today for 300 billion for these companies, it means if you that today is having your own truck to deliver something, still having Mr. Truck, you're having still your own truck. If you decide, or if I convince you to outsource, this market goes to 4.2 trillion euros. So it's still a big opportunity. But this is only the basic logistics. Mr. Trucker is finding out every day other kind of solutions that today is not inside the logistics, this concept and the scope of the logistics. So there is a big market outside. So we really believe that this 4.2 trillion can be infinite. Okay? Today, the challenges for us for growth are basically that Mr. Trucker can be only a domestic and national. He's going to die if he's only domestic and national transportation. He needs to have a global infrastructure with global resources. Because Cecilia doesn't sell to his Minnesota customers anymore. She sells to the world. She buys from the world. So he needs to have a global and worldwide structure. This is basically how the companies, and I'm going to send you guys this, you probably know some of these names here. These are basically like asset-based companies, transport companies that also became more and more sophisticated. And these top names here that you see are the companies that can really provide the what you call the end-to-end solutions for the global supply.